And on the flip side today, Chelsea now, we said we went out to speak to Chelsea fans. Are they taking the top four for granted? I mean, everyone always said it was going to be Manchester City and Liverpool, then Chelsea guaranteed third. But also, all of a sudden, if Arsenal win this today, they go within 2 points of Chelsea. Have they taken top four for granted? And I mean, you look at their form's not been great.
3 points.
So within 3 points. It's not been great. And to be fair, before we speak about it, we can hear from the Chelsea boss, Thomas Tuchel, who has been speaking after today's defeat.
The whole momentum and the whole atmosphere and everything changed with the first minute of the second half, and this is our responsibility. Now we try to analyze a game that is hugely influenced by that mistake, unfortunately, and it changes the whole momentum. The game time drops because there is no need anymore for the opponent to try something. It's just about defending and playing the clock down. So it's exactly the pattern that we did not want to have, but it is in the end our responsibility. And unfortunately, we struggle to have clean sheets, and we struggle to play without big errors, and we pay for it at the moment.
Yeah, Thomas Tuchel, the Chelsea boss, there talking about Chelsea's form, which hasn't been great. But Crook, you watched the game today, correct? And you said to us when you came upstairs straight away, their problem is they can't score goals. How do they solve that problem?
I don't know, to be honest. Without spending a lot more money in the transfer market, I think they spent £230 million on Havertz, Werner and Lukaku combined. We've had a bit of a disagreement. You two are fans of Kai Havertz. I know he's come up with some iconic moments. He'll probably be a Chelsea legend just for that goal he scored in the Champions League final. But I think his return week in, week out still leaves a bit to be desired when you look at the money they spent on him. Timo Werner isn't going to do it for me. I think he's had enough opportunities. He spends too much time offside. He needs too many chances to score a goal. And you look at the game today, they're 1-0 down against Everton. They've created very little. They didn't have a shot on target for the first 50-odd minutes of the game. And you've got a £90-odd million signing in Romelu Lukaku, the man wearing the number 9 shirt. And Thomas Tuchel doesn't bring him on. He makes 3 changes. And Lukaku isn't one of them. I don't see a future for Lukaku all the time that Thomas Tuchel is manager. Obviously, we had that incident early in the season when he made those comments around about the turn of the year, the end of last year, in the Italian media, suggesting that maybe the manager doesn't play to his strengths. He made a public apology, but there's clearly still an issue there between player and manager. But I did ask the question on the Sunday session and got a bit shot down by Messrs Matterface and Groves, but if you look at Chelsea under Roman Abramovich, and by the way, this is the first time since Abramovich took over at Stamford Bridge that they've gone 5 successive seasons without winning the title. It doesn't take much for even a winning manager to suddenly find themselves out of a job. And you look at the gap, they're 17 points behind Manchester City. They're out of the Champions League against a Real Madrid side that I think are beatable, and Manchester City will prove that on talkSPORT this week by booking their place in the final. They've lost the League Cup final. He made a bizarre decision that backfired when he changed his goalkeeper, and they'll lose the FA Cup final as well. Now, if Abramovich was still calling the shots, I think Thomas Tuchel's position, even though he won the Champions League last year, would be under threat, because that's just the way that Chelsea have conducted their business. I think it's been a really poor season. I think they're a stodgy side. I think they're poor going forward, and they've got issues at the back now as well, because we know that Rudiger is leaving. I know that's being blamed on the situation they can't offer new contracts, but I think he was always going to go to Real Madrid. I said that on this station in January. Azpilicueta is looking now like a veteran. I think they need to find a replacement for him. Thiago Silva isn't getting any younger, although I think he was probably their best defender today. And they need a new striker. They probably need 2 new strikers. So whoever comes in, it looks like it's going to be Todd Bowley. I think they're going to have to invest heavily in the transfer market, and Thomas Tuchel needs to start coming up with some answers, because they spent big money to get Lukaku back to the club in the summer. It hasn't worked. And I think if we'd sat here in August and I told you two, they'd be 17 points off the pace at this stage of the season, you'd have said no chance. We thought they would be contenders. They aren't.
I did.
I certainly did. With Lukaku. I thought that was the missing piece.
Yeah,
missing piece of the puzzle. I mean, he's clearly not wanted at the football club. With Thomas Tuchel, as you said, they're a million miles away from Liverpool and from Manchester City, as you said as well. Look, as we sit here now, obviously with the 1-1, they're 5 points in front of Spurs, 5 points in front of Arsenal on the same amount of games. FA Cup coming up. It's tough if they lose again in the league and Arsenal and Spurs carry on winning. Who knows? It's exciting.